Hi guys, so welcome back to my channel. This is just a quick video on an update for my piercings. I know for my previous video that I did was like back in February 2019. So this is more of an updated video of my new piercings I've done. So obviously I have the ears, the nose, the tongue, the lip, and the belly button. So those are the ones I had and those I spoke about in my previous video. So I will talk to you about my updated one, and I'm going to rate them from like 1 to 10. So I actually did get the other side done. Well, I did actually do the other side. So like I said in my previous video, I wanted like the two. I did have diamantes in them, but I changed my mind and I wanted something more flat. So yes, I went with these, and they're really cute, and I got them from Amazon. It's like really nice flat bar. So that's a heart, and I think this was a star. So yeah, even though I did this one with at Claire's with a gun, I actually re-pierced it with a 16 gauge needle. So yeah, so they've both got 16 gauge bar ends, and the majority of my piercings are all 16 gauge or 14 gauge. So yeah, so these two. They're quite cute. So I also have the smiley that I did, and that's a 16 gauge. So yeah, oh, got lipstick on my nose. Oh. Oh. So yeah, so the 16 gauge smiley. That's probably how I got lipstick on my nose. These two on my helix are fresh. So I actually had these 2 weeks before I had my little one. So I actually did a video, my recent video, if you go back onto my channel, it's called becoming a first time mum during COVID. So my little one now is 4 months old, and I did this 2 weeks before he was born. And I know like tattoos and piercers are like, do not get them done before you, like they won't pierce you or tattoo you while you're pregnant. So yeah, I'm stupid. But I did these both at the same time. Initially I had hoops in them, and obviously you should never put hoops in like fresh piercings, especially in ears. They do take longer to heal, and for me I just found that I got it caught so much more, and that it doesn't matter how much I was cleaning it or you know, keeping it clean, sterilizing it, it was just so painful, and I got it caught loads, especially with my niece. Like she like slapped me right in the ear, and oh my god, it was throbbing like bad enough. Like even just having a fresh piercing and getting it slapped, it's gonna be painful. So I was like, oh, brought waters to my eyes. But I did change it to a straight bar once I ordered some new ones from Amazon. I literally was like, okay, you know, you're not really supposed to change the piercings once it's done, you're supposed to let it heal and stuff. But to be honest, the pain that I was in with the hoops, it was excruciating. I just had to get it out. Like I didn't care. Like I just had to get it out. So I literally had like all the sterilizers and everything, the salt water, and as soon as I got the hoops out, really gave it all a good clean and just whack a straight bar straight into it, like straight away. I was like, oh my god. But like within like 2-3 days, I just found like the ear like throb less, hurt less, and I could sleep on it, and it wasn't as painful as it was when I had the hoops in. So I definitely recommend don't have hoops in your ears while it's healing, because it will not heal quick. So these ain't too bad, but with having a new baby, the hands, feet go everywhere, so it's actually quite painful right now because he whacked it just before he took nap time. So yeah, so I could feel my ear like throbbing, like ow, that's gonna get infected. But touch wood, it's not, because I did give it a good nice wipe down and clean with salt water, and I really soaked it as well. So I just got some Q-tips, cotton pad, and like really just soaked it in the salt water and just held it onto my ear for a good like couple of minutes. But yeah, but you gotta love them, but oh my god, that is painful. So yeah, And then my next piercing that I did, I actually got in the end. It's something that I wanted for a very long time, and when I got pregnant, I obviously couldn't get it done. Well, obviously I didn't do it because I wanted to breastfeed, but unfortunately, like, my milk ducts didn't agree with me and decided they wanted to dry up within 2.5 weeks of my son being born. And I was like, great. I would like to have kept on breastfeeding them because I know it's very good for them, but at the same time, doesn't matter what I was doing, massaging, pumping, everything, not working, like, at all. So after he was born, we moved to a new house, and then I was like, oh, okay, you know what? Okay, I'm fine. I can do this. So I like asked people, so everyone who had their nipple pierced, or, you know, find out how painful it was, because obviously it's supposed to be one of the most painful piercings that you are to get, because it's like, naturally your nipples is just a very sensitive area, just on its own, even not even having like piercing put through it, like, you know. And you gotta remember, you're stabbing it, you're like, basically you're mutilating yourself. Little thing, they're going through trauma, like, bad enough they've had a baby like gum down on it, now it's having a needle go through it. So I used a 16 gauge needle on one side, because I didn't have a spare needle, so I had to order some new fresh needles. So yes, and so I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. So I looked it up, and, you know, people were like, oh my god, some of the girls were doing the reviews, and it was like, oh my god, like, it's so painful, like, scale of 1 to 10, it's like a 10 or an 11, and it was the most painful thing they've ever done in their life. And like, they recommend like taking a day off work because they just feel like they couldn't reach their arm up, they couldn't do anything, and all this and all that. And I was like, oh my god, how painful is this? And obviously, like, clamping your nipple, it's just painful in itself. I was like, oh. For me, I think the clamping actually hurt a lot more than putting a needle through it. Like, I am not going to lie, it was the most painful thing I've ever done, is to clamp it, because I just felt like my baby was back on my breast, gumming it. Like, oh my god. So a mother who breastfeed knows what I'm talking about. And for the men, you're probably just going, what the hell? But yeah, it is painful as F. So yeah, so clamped it, and obviously, like, looking at it, I was like, okay, I'm gonna put some ice pack just in case, like, it's sweating and stuff. So I clamped it. I used a 16 gauge, whacked it, like, literally, I felt a scratch as if I was getting like an injection, and it got a little bit like, I don't think I was using enough force to like whack it straight through. Like, I had to like really like push for it to break through the skin on the other side. Once it was through, it just, the pain kind of like disappeared. So when I put the bar in, yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So I did it at like 1 in the morning, and I was like, okay, he's gonna sleep until like 8 o'clock the next day. So like, that's fine. I'll have like at least 7 hours to like slightly recover from the trauma. But like, literally the next day when I got up, I didn't even think about it. He was crying, he needed feeding and changing. I picked him up, played with him, cuddled him, literally brought him downstairs, had some like breakfast, cup of tea, and I completely forgot about it. And then when I went up for the shower, I got a caught on the loafer, and I was like, oh, God. Yeah, oh my god, just making me think about it. And so when I ordered a new set of fresh needles and the 14 gauge bars, I re-pierced it. Well, I pierced this one with the 14 gauge and put the bars in. This one was even less painful. Like, the second was even less painful than the first one. I don't know why, but it was. I didn't find it painful at all. And I know most people were like, oh my god, it was so painful, and like, they were too scared to get the second one done because it was just painful and all this. And I was like, okay, got it done, got on. I did it during the day, and I just got on with the rest of the day. Like, didn't even think about it. I did change this one to a 14 gauge. Luckily I didn't have to re-pierce it, and I put the bar in, and surprisingly the bar kind of went in quite smooth. So for me it was just like, oh okay, but I kept it connected. So before I pulled the 16 gauge out, I kind of like lined them up and kind of just thread it through, so it was connected all the way through. And it didn't feel any painful or swollen or sore, so I was like, oh okay, so I just changed the bar so they've both got 14 gauge in. So yeah, so those are my like new piercings. Like scale of 1 to 10, they didn't really hurt that much, and this one probably hurt the most and probably still does because it got caught and slapped. But apart from that, yeah. Obviously I don't recommend you doing it yourself at all at home, especially if you don't know what you're doing. Even if you're like, oh, I've seen tutorial videos and all this and all that, you know. I did do my research, and obviously I did watch tutorial videos and things, and you know, and I'm not a piercer, I'm not a professional piercer at all, but I would only do certain piercings that I know and I'm comfortable with, so like with my ears and things, and like I haven't had any infection or anything like that, so you know, my nipple hasn't fallen off, I haven't got gangrene, I haven't got an infection or anything like that at all. Like, you know, you just got to keep it clean, like all fresh piercings and everything, you've got to keep it clean, keep it, everything, like, you know, sterilized and everything, just clean it, and it'll be fine. If I was to notice any signs of like an infection, or my body's rejecting the piercing, I just take it out. Like, it's just not worth it getting more like infected or anything like that. Obviously, like, don't take it out straight away. Try and clean the infected area first before you remove the piercing, because you don't want your body to heal and the infection is just going to stay in there. So you kind of just want to try and clear the infection first, and if it's like not clear, go to the GP. They can give you antibiotics, and you know, some infection can be more serious than others, so please be careful. But like I say, I don't recommend you doing it yourself at home. But I think despite anything, anyone that says don't do it at home, people are just going to watch videos and go, I'm going to do it anyway. So please don't do it. I am stupid, and I am not afraid to admit that, and I am impatient and I am impulsive, so I just do it, but I don't recommend people doing it. So yes, so let me know what you guys think. If you guys have piercings or anything like that, or you know, if you've experienced anything, share comments below about your personal experience, because I would love to hear about it. So yes, so keep an eye out for my next video, and I will actually try and do more videos despite having a newborn. So yes, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys like it, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.